is Beth, and I'm so glad to have you here at our session tonight. Tonight, I'd like to introduce you to Amar Chandel, and he is a naturopath, yogi, and holistic healer from India, and my teacher, my friend, and I am so blessed to have him here in Dallas conducting a holistic healing course for me and several other Dallas people. He's bringing enormous changes to our lives, and especially my life in general. And I'd like to introduce you to him and have him speak a little bit more on his holistic healing course. So welcome, Arma Ji.
Thank you. As the name itself suggests, holistic means covering all dimensions. Health is a very vast subject. Most of us fall ill. Out of 100 diseases, roughly 10% are because of genetic reasons. Another 10% because of environmental reasons, and the last 10% because of accidental causes. That leaves out some 70% of the diseases, and very serious ones at that, which take place only because of our wrong lifestyle. How to set this lifestyle right is the subject matter of holistic healing. So as you can see, merely by taking a little better care of yourself, you can get rid of majority of the problems. 70% is a huge figure. And more than the figure, the numbers that are affected and the cost involved is simply astronomical. If only we can change ourselves slightly, there will be a dramatic change in our lifestyle. What happens is that we make certain small mistakes and we never even notice that they can have such serious consequences. The first thing we have to understand is that even the biggest diseases at times have very small causes. Why don't we set them right? First, we think that they're too small. Holistic healing teaches you that how some small mistakes, when repeated number of times, can lead to very serious consequences. The second mistake we make is that we think that it is the responsibility of the doctors to keep us in good health. Actually, it is we who have to take care of ourselves. If we start taking care of ourselves, doctors will have a better chance to take care of those who have had a serious disease or an accident. So our whole focus is on preventive medicine. In fact, we don't talk about medicine at all. We talk about our food as the best medicine. And it's not only those who are into holistic healing who talk about this. There's a famous quotation from no less than Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine, who has said that let your food be your medicine. If only we can treat our daily food as something to cure us, we can eliminate a large number of diseases. But it is not only food alone that holistic healing talks about. The focus is on several factors. The most important, of course, being the food. Second is water. We do not know how much of it to take, what kind of water to take. Third, activity or exercise. We'll explain that in a minute. Fourth, rest or relaxation. Fifth is sleep. Sixth is our attitude. And eighth is, you may find it a little funny, but common sense. Even to know that you have to brush your teeth and comb your hair, even these things have a great impact on you over a long period of time. But the kingpin of the whole thing is your food. The phrase in English says, you are what you eat. It not only has a great impact on your body but also your mind, because another saying is very candid about it: a healthy mind in a healthy body. You can have a healthy mind only if you keep a healthy body. So if by whatever reason your food spoils your health, it also has similar effect on your mental status also. So we in the holistic healing take a multidimensional view. We not only want to cure your body but also your mind. We want to have the whole setup so that you can lead a happy, healthier, and more peaceful life. Now, coming to those various sections of this. Broadly speaking, the whole thing can be divided into three major sections. One is what you consume, what you eat. Just as a car cannot run on bad petrol or adulterated petrol, your body just cannot function properly if food is wrong. Our problem is that we are very particular about what goes into the tank of our car, but among the human beings, we don't mind even putting diesel where petrol is desired. In other words, if the food is tasty, we don't care about its quality. Unfortunately, our body is not that forgiving. When we go wrong on the food, body reacts violently. Again, this effect doesn't take place immediately. The body resists the pressure for decades at times, but when it hits back very strongly. So our first endeavor is to make people aware what is right for them and what is wrong. There'll be always some people who will be so addicted with some substances that they won't mind eating or drinking whatever they want to. But majority of the people even do not know what is right for them. So the course that I teach, first of all, tries to make people aware of the dangers involved. Unless you know how serious it can be, how would you set it right? I generally take the example of a child. As the mother of every 1-year-old or 2-year-old child would know, they have to be always on their guard whether their boy is going to put his finger in a power plug, or is he going to drink some ink or fall down from the stairs. Why does he do it? He puts his finger in the plug only because he doesn't know the consequences. Unfortunately, even as adults, we make same mistake when it comes to eating. So we have to be very careful about what we put in our mouth. So that is the first major section. We spend about 90% of our time in finding out what is right to eat, what is wrong, what is the right amount to eat, at what time it should be eaten, all those things. It's a vast subject. We go over it in detail because it is one of the most important factors. Second is your physical activity. We have gone down below the basic movement that is required. So human body is a dynamic machine. It has to be kept in motion. Just as a car which is not moved for several days starts having problems, the same holds true of the human body also. till about 50 years ago, there was a lot of movement involved because most of the jobs were done manually. Then came the time of machines. We have machines for virtually everything. In a way, it is a great time saver, effort saver. We can lead a more happy life. But in this effort to have machines for everything, we have stopped even the basic movement. And the more we do it, the more we spoil our body. Only if we keep above the basic level, just only then can we have some proper healthy life. Now, the various sections, some people think it can be done by yoga, some think it is only by cardiovascular exercises, some think it is by going to the gym. Actually, it is to be a combination of all of these. And as far as yoga is concerned, there's a lot of misinformation. Ask a common man who is a yogi. They think somebody who does his yoga exercises. Especially the West should know and understand that yogic asanas or yogic exercises are only a small section of a large set of responsibilities that a yogi has to follow. And right eating is also a part of that. Exactly in the same manner, just as there's misinformation about yoga, people also have wrong notions about Ayurveda. They think it is all about medicine. I would like to remind them that even Ayurveda lays great stress on right lifestyle. Medicines come much later. The first thing we have to do is that we have to change our daily habits in such a way that they are in conformity with the laws of nature. Next, how to get rid of your stress. That again is a major factor which also comes under holistic healing. You see, just as your thoughts have a lot of impact on your physical health, your lifestyle or your body also has a great impact on your mental status. All the tension and stress and depression that is taking the world by storm can be greatly controlled if only we can know the simple techniques of de-stressing ourselves. That is where all your pranayam and meditation come into the picture. So, this stool rests on three legs. One is your eating habits, two is your exercise in whatever form it is, and three, meditation and other techniques of taking your stress away. If we take care of all these three, we can lead a much healthier and happier life than we are doing today. So I teach it in a way which is totally, it should not seem to be an exercise in textbooks. We try to simplify it so that it is a matter of living. I've done a book on this subject which goes by the name Perfect Health in 20 Weeks. It may be a little intriguing, but you should understand, human body is a remarkable machine. Even if you have been misbehaving with it for say 50 years or 60 years, if you take good care of it, it can bounce back to health. But we somehow want instant results. Like instant noodles, we are always in search of instant solutions. There is no way that you can get rid of a disease which has developed over decades in a matter of days. So my experience is that it takes at least 20 weeks for the body to bounce back. Step by step, we have to understand how to eat right, how to exercise right, and how to get rid of attention. Just by these simple steps, we can bring about a revolution. You see, not only so many people are falling sick that it is frightening, and I call the situation a massacre of the innocents, but also the financial costs are tremendous. Whether it is in terms of a person spending money or the government spending it on insurance, there's just too much of expenditure which can be much better spent. It can be put to a more constructive use if we just teach people the preventive method of being well. And this is something which has to be learned from the grassroots. It has to be taught to school children. Only then can they understand what is right for them. Right now, what is happening is whatever is easily available, whatever is cheap, whatever is tasty, whatever is popular is supposed to be all right. I wish it could be true. The fact of the matter is, most of the food which is sold in large stores is so highly processed that it spoils your health. Secondly, we have become sedentary not only because of our jobs but because of our sheer habits. So we need a dramatic change in the way we live. Actually, we are not even living, we are existing. And this vicious cycle continues. The more sedentary we are, the more confined to our chairs we become, and that again creates more problems. They go on becoming more serious. We have to have a clear break from the past, and this technique can solve so many of the problems.
Thank you so much, Amarji, for answering that question, as food as medicine, and for covering how food really affects your diet and how exercise is so important to one's health. In addition to that, I'd also like to know what you see as one of the biggest problems facing America with regards to nutrition and holistic health. For me, I see a lot of stress, anxiety, and depression. And how does that relate to food, to nutrition, and to holistic healing in general?
I fully agree. In America, two problems coexist. One is the epidemic of obesity, and the second is this increasing level of anxiety, depression, anger. Basically, these are two sides of the same coin. We eat wrong kind of food that makes us edgy, angry, and sad. And secondly, whenever we are angry or sad, we eat worse kind of food. So one problem feeds another, and this vicious cycle has continued for so long that nobody knows where to begin with. So it comes to chicken or egg kind of situation. The first thing we should understand is that aggression and depression, they are just two names of the same problem. A person who tends to be aggressive may be also depressed, and a person who may be depressed may be also very aggressive in his own ways. In either format, this problem has its root cause in the wrong lifestyle. In India, we have a saying, "Jaisa an, vaisa tan, vaisa man," which loosely translated means, as you eat, so is your body, and so is your mind. So we have to tackle this problem from both ends, from the angle of the body also and from the mind also. You'll be surprised by that just by changing your eating habits, your emotional stability can be greatly increased. But that doesn't exactly completely solve the problem. we go much further. The first thing is, beyond food, another problem which causes emotional havoc is our breathing. We just do not take sufficient oxygen. So, another very powerful subject involved in holistic healing is how to breathe properly. Unless we teach ourselves to breathe the right way, we are bound to be agitated. So, what is called yogic breathing or deep breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, all that comes in very handy in cooling down one's emotions. And from there, we graduate to the level of meditation. Now, meditation is a largely misunderstood subject. We think that this is something very esoteric which involves sitting in long hours like a statue or something. No. The Hindi word for meditation is dhyan, which is attention, focusing attention on certain things for a particular amount of time without any distractions and disturbance. That itself brings about a major change in one's emotional outlook. So there are simple techniques involved which have to be scientifically learned. In fact, the first holistic healing course, which is all about your eating habits and lifestyle, is only the foundation stone for other courses of meditation which teach you highly evolved techniques of taking control of your own emotions. In the long term, it has not only one goal. The simple and the foremost goal, of course, is how to get rid of your tension. But then there are other goals involved. There are 6 of them basically. The first goal is to be at peace with yourself. Unless we are at peace with ourselves, how are we going to face the world? If we are not at peace, wherever we go, we will carry that agitation with us. Second, to be in harmony with others. There are people who are very good personally, but when it comes to working in a group, they just do not gel in. They stand out. They create problems for the group. So we have to learn how to be in harmony with others. 3 is to rise to your full potential. And 4, to sterilize the seeds of the past bad karma. As you know, we in India believe in the deeds of the past. So even if you don't believe in what you did in the previous life, let's talk about this life itself. What happens is that the mistakes that we make live with us. Meditation helps you in eliminating the after effects of such problems. The 5th one then comes in, which is self-realization. We just do not know who we are, what we are doing. We do not assess ourselves. Meditation helps you in assessing ourselves properly and realizing who we are, what we are doing. Then comes the last one, God realization. If at all we believe in a God, so how to realize that? These are some of the goals of meditation. These are learned and then taught step by step. If we go in a gradual scientific manner, sky is the limit. So we begin with the body, graduate to a mind, and then keep on moving up and up so that we can be a complete man.
Thank you very much, Amarji. I guess along with that, how do you see processed foods playing out in life and in school and in children and in diets in general?
Well, I have always held that processed food is slow poison and not all that slow either. Most of the problems today emerge from this for several reasons. This was never supposed to be something which was to give you good health. It was designed to be only a convenience. It was to give profit to some people. But because of the shortage of time, We took to this kind of food in a big way, and we are paying in a big way. We should understand that this food has been processed in such a way that it has taken away most of the nutrition. So it fills our belly all right, it feeds the millions all right, but feeds them all the wrong ingredients. For instance, take the refined flour. It was brought in for two reasons: one, shelf life, and second, its better looks. The problem is that most of the nutrition has been systematically removed from this. It will be very easy to grab this food and call it a meal. Actually, it is one of the best ways to ruin your health. As long as we use this processed food as our major staple diet, we will not only be creating so many health problems, we will also have so many emotional difficulties. Every family must think along these lines that by taking wrong kind of food, we will never ever have healthy children. A whole generation is growing on wrong kind of food. It is very difficult to explain to them that what seems to be so tasty and good looking can be a killer. And a major mistake is being done by the advertisement campaign. There'll be hardly any advertisement for a homemade food, but whatever is sold in stores is touted as something great and fashionable. I wish the situation could be that rosy. It is not. There are serious problems. To my mind, processed food has the same kind of impact on the health of the population as does the smoking and drinking. So we have to be very, very careful. A national debate should be raised on this, how to get rid of this problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Amarji, for answering that question with regards to processed food and unhealthy eating. And so there can be two types of people: the people who do eat processed foods and consider themselves unhealthy and have chronic situations because of that, be it aches or pains or uneasiness of the mind. What would you say to the people who consider themselves healthy eaters?
Yeah, that is a major issue. This is such a subject, eating is such a subject that everybody thinks that he is an authority. Whatever he is eating, he thinks that he is absolutely right already. There's so many nuances involved. As I said, what time to eat, what to eat, how to eat, how much to eat. There's so many factors. This whole issue has to be understood in a holistic manner. For example, think of some people who remain on juice for too long. Juices may be very healthy and they are right in thinking that they are taking juices, but they do not understand that by doing so and over a long period of time, you're depriving yourself of fiber. Unless there is fiber in your diet, things will go horribly wrong. So there are so many misconceptions which have to be step by step removed. In fact, when we do this course in India, we do it over a period of 6 months. So that every week you learn something new. The first thing for the approach is that one should shed one's own preconceived notions. Just because you think you're doing what you're doing is right is not exactly true. The various factors. And secondly, we have to be very, very careful about fad diets. They come into the market every now and then. They claim to be a panacea for all ills, but then they create more problems than they solve. We should understand that our eating habits have changed drastically in the last 50 years. But as far as the human constitution is concerned, It hasn't changed much in last 50,000 years. So we just have to go back to the old age wisdom of eating natural foods. We should not tinker with our body so much that it reacts violently. Only and only if we know what are the laws of nature and what are the laws of our human body, only then can we run it properly. By obeying our own rules, we are creating trouble for ourselves.
Thank you so much for that. And so, what is one of the biggest changes that you've seen in one of your students?
In various directions. See, people only notice what is physically visible. So it is the weight loss which is most common to comprehend. Fortunately, some of my biggest weight losers have been from the West. There was a lady from Vancouver who shed, hold your breath, something like 150 pounds. So that is the most obvious change. But please remember, weight loss is also always associated with, first of all, getting rid of number of diseases. Many problems like blood pressure and even cholesterol are easily solved if you get rid of your weight. But the most important change cannot be measured. It is in question of how your mood changes. When you are in good health, you are a happy person also. So I've seen this kind of change. So many students before they came in were suicidal, aggressive, and in deep depression. But the moment they change their eating habits, the moment they shed their unhealthy weight, they find that they had some springs of happiness inside them, some springs of peace inside them, which had got blocked. And merely by living healthy, all those sources of happiness and peace have become available to them again, and they can be as happy and enjoying the life as the person next door.
And so, thank you very much, Amaji, for sharing your expertise with us. And just to recap for everyone, Amarji has been practicing integral yoga, naturopathy, and holistic healing for more than 3 decades. He is a spiritual guide and teacher to many students, and he's associated with the All India Nature Cure Federation, New Delhi, and Naturopathic and Yogic Sciences. And he's been delivering lectures on subjects like health for busy professionals in various venues. Besides that, he is invited regularly to Indian television programs to answer viewers' health and nutrition-related queries. Now I guess you're imagining, with all this great information, how do I sign up for this course? Well, Amarji has been conducting courses in many locations such as America, England, France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, Sweden, Luxembourg, Belgium, Holland, Israel, Canada, Egypt, China, and many more. So if you are interested in getting a course in your area, and we happen to be in the Dallas area right now, feel free to send your comments and questions to asknature@gmail.com. And just to recap a little bit more, Amarji had mentioned his book, Perfect Health in 20 Weeks, and here it is. So definitely go out and pick yourself up a copy. And I guess, is there anything else you would like to add in summary?
Only thing I can say is that your body is a gift from God. We are supposed to take good care of it. If we take care of it, it will be with us for all our life. We should know that one disease which hits all of us is old age. We can either delay it. Unfortunately, most people allow it to come to us a little too quickly. We are growing old even in middle age. Let's change that. That will be the future of our world. Thank you.